Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 Year-End Awards for the Project Universe. 2018 was by far and away the greatest year this universe had seen, and it was time to reward everyone by handing out awards to the very best. We left the voting to you, the viewers of this universe, with 10 categories to vote in. A whopping 182 of you voted, and we have the results in. Thank you to every single one of you who voted, but it is time for the awards to begin. Debut of the Year. We begin this evening with the Debut of the Year category, in which you choose your personal favorite talent to have debuted this calendar year. And the nominees are Hiromu Takahashi. Arriving at SummerSlam, the Time Bomb took us all by surprise. Minutes later, he took the Cruiserweight title. Takahashi has since become a staple to the ECW Cruiserweight division, but was he enough of an arrival to warrant your vote? Katsuyori Shibata. Arriving to the aid of SmackDown Live on a very surprising evening, Shibata was willing to fight everyone, even the man he thought he respected in the WWE Champion. Despite a slow end to the year, was his summer at the top of SmackDown enough to win? Hiroki Goto. Bursting onto the scene of Raw, Goto made an immediate impact to go with it. His destiny locked with Lars Sullivan's, eventually eclipsing the Freak at Survivor Series. Was the wrath of the GTR enough to propel Goto to the top? El Ídolo! Andrade Cien Almas. The only man on this list to come through NXT, Andrade's impact was immediate. Undefeated for 2018 with a big takeover win to boot. It seems El Idolo is destined for greatness, but is he destined to be the winner of this award? Ronda Rousey. When Ronda Rousey arrived on Raw, we were in shock. The baddest woman on the planet showed us she was more than just a fan, she was a fighter. A huge name in the Raw Women's division, and a huge name in general. Does the debut of the year belong to the rowdy one? And the winner is El Ídolo! Andrade Cien Almas. The impact of El Ídolo was too great to be ignored, winning 33.5% of the vote. The future does indeed look bright for Andrade. Breakout Star of the Year. The award goes to a superstar who either had a standout year after struggling the year prior, or someone who came into this universe and dominated from the start. The nominees are Tetsuya Naito. While 2017 was a weak year for Naito, 2018 was a powerful one. Beginning in the Royal Rumble, Naito's peak came at WrestleMania, capturing the ECW television title, and closed out the year facing Seth Rollins. Was El Ingobernable the breakout star for you? Oh no, oh no, oh no! Cassius Ohno. A return to the universe for Ohno was a welcome one. Eliminating the winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble and a year spent chasing the US title was Ohno's. A guy who can hang with the very best of Raw. Was Ohno the one who broke his way to the top? Kota Ibushi. Ibushi, much like the rest, kicked off at the Royal Rumble, but he kept on going. A victory at King of the Ring over Lars Sullivan and numerous incredible title matches show just what the Golden Star is all about. Does the breakout star of Ibushi's shine brightest? Lars Sullivan. The Freak was a huge arrival to Raw, a friend of then Raw General Manager Dara Ronaldo. Lars crushed his way to the US title, eventually crushing his friendship with Dara over the summer. It's been a chaotic time for Sullivan, but did the Freak do enough to break out your vote? Zack Sabre Jr. From afterthought to dominant Cruiserweight champion, ZSJ found new life in the British Empire. Closing the year out with the title back around his waist, there is no denying that ZSJ has become a big name on ECW, but is he the breakout one? And the winner is Tetsuya Naito. Between numerous great matches and the ECW television title, Naito's year finally went where we all wanted it to go. With 34.6% of the vote, it was a well-earned award. Not the Naito will care that much. Faction of the Year. This award goes to the group that you believed were either the most entertaining or left the biggest impact on their brand. The nominees are the Wyatt family. Family Wars. That became the issue of the year for the Wyatts. MK Ultra was the big aim for the family this year, but that didn't stop them claiming gold along the way. Between Aleister Black and Braun Strowman, there was plenty of gold to please Sister Abigail. The Originals. A faction still seeking the takeover of SmackDown, the Originals have stopped at nothing to make sure they rule the show. The stacks of gold to their name and the recent addition of AJ Styles, while a young group, there's no doubt about their danger. Trifecta. The faction to rule the NXT Women's Division throughout the year. Blanchard, Gabbert, and Garrett made history inside the Women's Elimination Chamber. Since then, everything to do with the Women's Division has gone through these three women. The British Empire. An empire to rule ECW. Neville, McIntyre, Sabre, and Gibson have gone above and beyond to get across their viciousness and their hatred for everyone. All the Empire seeks is glory, and with the birth of the star in Drew McIntyre, there is plenty to be worried about when it comes to the Empire. And the winner is the British Empire. Between their feuds with DIY and the match at Survivor Series, with 40.7% of the vote, the British Empire have earned their right to the Faction of the Year. Tag Team of the Year. This award goes to the tag team that has been your outright favourite throughout the year. There were plenty to choose from. The nominees are the Good Brothers. This year, they made history. 4-time tag team champions, a record set by Gallows and Anderson. A big WrestleMania win to their name, but a slow second half to the year may well have knocked them from the top. Were they still your team? Gorillas of Destiny. From the moment they arrived, they dominated the tag team division. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa have had a stranglehold on those titles. Now aligned with the Originals, is there anything stopping God from taking this award? American Alpha. A team reborn in NXT, American Alpha spent the year clutching with gold. Both NXT and World Tag Team titles to their name, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan brought a new edge to tag team wrestling. However, did a loss at the end of the year derail them from your vote? The Authors of Pain. Start the year as champions, end the year as champions. AOP have found a new edge under Drake Maverick, and a quick title victory asserted that point. However, having suffered from a significant silence throughout the summer, did that write the last chapter for AOP? DIY. Hearts that never stop beating. That is DIY. Having dug down deep throughout the year, DIY was a team anyone could cheer. Knock them down, they got back up. The British Empire found that out. Did you find DIY to be the team for you? Downfall. What a difference a week makes. From an afterthought, Harper took himself to the tag team titles. While they burst out at the end of the year, victories over nearly every other team on this list showed their dominance. Despite the short tenure, did Downfall commence? And the winner is Gorillas of Destiny. Dominating from minute one, GOD rightly earned this award. With 49.5% of the vote, there was no denying their dominance, and now the award shows it. Shocking moment of the year. This award goes to the moment that truly shocked you with this year, be it good or bad, and we had plenty of both. The nominees are Shinsuke Nakamura betrays Kazuchika Okada, Fastlane 2018. When Nakamura made his return, we believed he came to save Okada. How wrong we were. Turning his back on Okada, Nakamura made his presence felt and stabbed a knife firmly in Okada's back. The title was handed to Lesnar, but their battle had just begun. Tyler Bate beats Corin. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. As much as the public consensus was for Corin losing his title, the truth was, we never knew when. Corin punished his opponent once again. We thought it was going to be the norm once more, until Tyler Bates stunned us all. Winning the NXT title, it was a true moment we aren't forgetting, for all the right reasons. Kazuchika Okada wins the Royal Rumble. 24 hours before, Okada was sent away in a stretcher. We thought he was gone. We were wrong.
What? What? No! No way! No way! This is not happening! Oh, no! Do my eyes deceive me? Okada is in the Rumble!
The eyes did not deceive. As Okada went on to win the Royal Rumble, the Rainmaker shock buzzed throughout the Rumble. Lars Sullivan betrays Dara Renard. Following a victory over Hiroki Goto, the friendship we knew had reached its end.
Lars Sullivan! What the hell? Sullivan's attacking Dara Renalo!
Freak accidents from every corner brought Daro's demise. An oof for our fallen GM. Friendship and a heart broken. Adam Cole returns to the universe. Having not been seen since May, there was doubt over if Cole would ever return. Those doubts were put to bed, and the crowd got to scream. A victory on his return, Cole hadn't lost a step, but had he shocked the system. Corin invades Survivor Series. Rainmaker versus GOAT. We couldn't ask for more. Everyone watched on, craving to see who the best was. The answer, we never got.
No! No! What in the blue hell is Corin doing here?
Corin's invasion in the main event never gave us a winner, rather it gave rebirth to a long-standing rivalry and a prick like no other. And the winner is Corin's stunned Survivor Series, a moment that will live in infamy. While we may never know the result of this pairing, we do know that Corin, with 34.6% of the vote, stood tall on the evening.
Event of the Year. This award goes to the greatest individual show of the year. We had so many to pick from, it was hard to choose one. The nominees are the Royal Rumble, a hellacious night of action from top to bottom. WrestleMania matches were set from that night. Capped off with the Rainmaker shock in the prestigious match itself, the special show stands out in its own history. WrestleMania. The grandest stage of them all for a reason. Two women killing themselves over deep-seated hatred, the phenomenal one and the greatest of all time facing up for the ECW title, Best versus Beast in an outstanding last man standing match, the villain toppling the modern day Maharaja, and the Rainmaker furthering his shock, surviving the onslaught no matter how much Bobby Fish threw his way, to strike with one last Rainmaker to become the WWE Champion. The big stage gave us another show we'll never forget. ECW Heatwave. The only brand exclusive pay-per-view on this list, there's every reason for it. Family warfare, the battle between the Cleaner and El Ingobernable, finalized with an incredible Iron Man match and a stare down the center straight to SummerSlam. The Heatwave had indeed reached its boiling point. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. The women made history in the first ever female elimination chamber, a show of their character and their ability to survive, along with one of the greatest moments in NXT history, the day Corin finally was dethroned. We had every reason to smile that evening. The future was most certainly alive that night. SummerSlam. The death of a bachelor. The villain toppling over the best. The Beast proving he was simply too much for the Rainmaker. Omega versus Rollins 2. Everything on the line, but only one winner came the end of the evening. There was so much to enjoy at SummerSlam. Indeed, the spoils went to the victor. No Way Out. The series finale never fails to deliver. The 9-month streak of Rosemary came to an end. Nakamura met Okada, only to cause the first shock to come the way of the Rainmaker, giving him a tough defeat, one that Okada may not yet have recovered from. Meanwhile, the Stinger showed he had one last run in him, toppling the villain and ending the series as the new World Heavyweight Champion. Another series goes out strong. Survivor Series. When you have the biggest teams in the universe meeting, a sole survivor and a star being born, a vigilante and a beast clashing, you'd already think it was an amazing show. And then Okada vs. Rollins shows up. Arguably, the two greatest talents in the world colliding for the first time ever. Sadly, the night was spoiled, but it was most certainly a night you can't forget. And the winner is WrestleMania. The grandest stage did it again. With 32.4% of the vote, there was no denying the biggest show of the year was also the best. Match of the year. The great events gave us some great matches. This year, we were spoilt for choice, but we whittled them down to a final few. The nominees are Kazuchika Okada vs. Corin, fully loaded. Let two men who hate one another go at it with no rules, no disqualifications, and no sanctioning. A very late addition to the list, but one that we all watched on to, hoping for the Okada victory, that sadly never came. Another win for Corin, and another award for him? The American show-offs, Cesaro and Ono versus the British Empire, Survivor Series. A heated exchange gave us everything we were seeking and more. A huge night for all sides, but one the Empire, certainly not Drew McIntyre, will forget. The night his stardom was born, but was it also the night he took home a well-earned award? Adam Cole versus Marty Scurll, Vengeance. Cole put his stature on the line as a raw talent for one more shot at the villain. These two bitter rivals gave it their all, but we were left with no happy ending. As Scurll submitted Cole, retaining his title and breaking the heart of all who supported him along the way. Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins, SummerSlam. When you put everything on the line, there can only be a great outcome. That was what we got. Two titles on the line, two men who risked it all, two superstars on top of the world. A sensational match we had, but one that wrote the history of Rollins into the books. Tyler Bate vs. Corin, NXT TakeOver, Brooklyn. The biggest underdog story tellable. The story of survival, dominance, destruction. But the final story told was one of victory. No matter the onslaught, no matter the torture, Tyler Bate took home a well-earned victory, winning the NXT title from the man who had dominated NXT for 9 months. To this day, we still thank Bate. Kazuchika Okada vs. Seth Rollins, Survivor Series. What more can you ask for? The man who rose from nothing to the biggest name of SmackDown against the man who had dominated ECW for the whole year, we were gifted to a great match, as the two men fought to earn the right of the greatest. But with no winner, did that taint this match from being the greatest? And the winner is Kenny Omega vs. Seth Rollins. The biggest fight of the summer lived up to the name. With 48.9% of the vote, the amount these two men sacrificed was more than worth the award. Women's Wrestler of the Year. The women's division continues to wow us, and this year was no different. So many talented women, but only one can win. The nominees are Kairi Sane. A woman who gladly stood by herself against Trifecta. Sane risked everything, even her NXT Women's title. Although she lacked her big win, the future on Raw looks bright for the Pirate Princess. Bright enough for victory? Nikki Cross. The Psycho of SmackDown certainly enjoyed her fights, especially with one Becky Lynch. Holding her title twice in the year, Cross had no problem throwing down for a fight, and with a big win over her rival, was it enough to win the award? Becky Lynch. A change of character, from the heartfelt, lovable ass kicker to a vicious individual. She took Cross and Asuka to the limit, closing out the year as a member of the Originals to boot. It's been a busy year for Lynch. Did she boss her way to the award? Rosemary. the longest reigning women's champion we've ever seen. 9 months as Raw Women's Champion, Rosemary gave us great match after great match. We thought she couldn't be topped, and we had every right to believe it. However, having lost the belt to Asuka and failing to regain it in a rematch, did that deny Rosemary the crown? Asuka. The Empress slayed the Queen, and Asuka hasn't shown any signs of letting go of her reign at the top either. With victories over Rosemary, Becky Lynch, and the Raw Women's title in her hands to close out the year, is the award ready for Asuka? And the winner is Rosemary. When you make history, it's hard to argue against an award. Rosemary rightly earned this, but with just 28.6% of the vote, she had to fight for it, just like she had fought at the top for 9 long months. Show of the year. 4 shows a week? Which one is the best? This one is all about the bragging rights for the general managers. Which one takes home the award? Raw. Having lost the long-serving general manager of Dara Ronaldo, there was worry the Big Red Show would lose its head. However, has the work under Mr. Dredge been enough to right the ship of Raw to the very top? SmackDown Live. For the first time, the Blue Brand had a general manager at the helm. We'd seen plenty of chaos under Christian James. Was it enough to bring him home an award in just 4 months at the front of SmackDown? ECW. A year where one man stood tall over all. Another year under the leadership of yours truly. Was it a year where ECW brings home an award to brag to the rest? Did the A Show rightly earn its crown? NXT. The developmental brand has certainly seen its fair piece of action throughout the year. A takeover hasn't passed without wowing us. With Logan Wayne leading the charge, will the future be making a statement tonight? And the winner is ECW. 54.9% of the vote went the way of the rightful A Show. There was never any doubt of our greatness. Now this award gets to prove it. You're welcome. Superstar of the Year. This is the big one. 5 men, 1 award. These 5 men are given its socks throughout the year. While some may be argued about their legitimacy in this category, there's no doubt they've been a talking point all year. The nominees are Brock Lesnar. When you start the year at the throat of CM Punk and end it as WWE Champion, you know you've had a good year. Having given us great matches all year, from Punk to Okada to topping it off by defeating the World Champion at Survivor Series, the Beast has earned his way into this category. Will Suplex City take home the prize? Marty Scurll. The villain had always been opposed to Raw, but has spent almost all year at the top of it. The world title has been synonymous with Scurll, from WrestleMania to the end of Adam Cole to the summer-long rivalry with CM Punk. Scurll left us with plenty to discuss. Despite a defeat at No Way Out, Scurll ended the year as the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion we've seen. Will this award help heed the phrase, "Long live the villain"? Kazuchika Okada. What a year it's been for this man. We started the year cheering for the Rainmaker. By WrestleMania alone, we stood by him. Toppling Bobby Fish, giving us matches we'll never forget. In the summer, we consoled the Rainmaker. We stood in shock as he was betrayed and cheered once more as he fought to be the best. It was a shaky end to the year for Okada, but did he earn this award? Corin. Jesus Christ. Words cannot describe the hatred the collective share for this man, but there's no denying his dominance. 270 days as NXT champion, the destruction of Okada, and the wars with Tyler Bate, that was just NXT. Since arriving to the main stage, he's made Okada's life a misery even more. However, will he make tonight the misery for all of us? Will the clock strike 12 on Corin winning the most prestigious award of the evening? Seth Rollins. History was made, records were broken. Some wrestlers started the year as champion, lost it,
and won it back at the end. Not this man. The first to ever hold a title for a calendar year, the first to break 400 days as a champion, the longest reigning champion we've ever seen. Rollins gave us a year of incredible matches, even the match of the year. There's no denying we are in the midst of history. Is it Rollins' time to be rightfully rewarded for it? And the winner is, was it ever in doubt? Seth Rollins. 66% of the vote tells the story. This was his year. Although his reign might continue on, we will always remember 2018 as the year of Rollins. Rightly so. The greatest champion we've ever seen takes home the greatest award possible. And that does it. The awards are in the books. A year of incredible events for this universe, and now we look ahead to the future. Thank you to everyone who voted, everyone subscribed, everyone who even watched an episode of Universe. This wouldn't be possible without you. And while these talents have rightly earned their awards, one man is now truly the greatest of all time. Take care, everyone.